This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Radio Show with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Presented by Midwest Ford Dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Here's Sam driving, and he stops it with the right hand. Rebound by Denham Dawson, gathers himself, fires it up, no good. Tip try by Gary, missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Jawan, Gary, Denham Dawson, those guys are absolutely relentless.
Ramel Lloyd Jr. out of Los Angeles. There's Griesel, kick out deep left corner. Breitenbach, three ball, got it. Hey, Gary has 18, I beg your pardon. Here's the three ball up, no good. The offensive rebound, Denham puts it up and in, and an and one. Is it going to count?
I think it's going to, and that hustle by Denham Dawson.
This is Nebraska Basketball on the Huskers Radio Network. Here is your host, Greg Sharpe.
Well, what a treat. Our first basketball show of the year. We got the head coach with us tonight for the next hour. If you want to be a part of the program, 402-413-2400. The Huskers had their one and only home exhibition game on Sunday, an 87-60 victory over Chadron. You got to see a lot of players. You got everybody in, and you worked a lot of different combinations. Were you happy with what you saw Sunday?
I was pleased, Greg, because of the effort that our guys played with from start to finish. And, especially early, we weren't making shots. And the first basket that actually we made, it was a dive on the floor by Wilhelm. His goggles flew off his head and, kicked that up to CJ, who hit a three. And that got us on the board. And then, we just, I thought we were relentless on the glass. That was one thing we really wanted to do. It's a change this year as far as our philosophy because of personnel on this team as far as trying to go get extra opportunities. And I was really pleased with that. I thought Jawan was absolutely all over the place. Did a really good job, of generating offense for us when the ball wasn't falling from the perimeter. And I thought Wilhelm got us a couple extra shots. Denham Dawson, I thought, was terrific coming off the bench with his energy, his defense. Bandamel really set the tone for us on the defensive end, picking up full court. Griesel, start to finish. I think that's what you're going to see out of him with the 14 points, 7 assists, 4 rebound game. He's going to do a little bit of everything every time he steps on the floor. And everybody, I was pleased with our freshmen. I thought for the first time out there in front of the fans, they responded to the minutes that they got. And then our bigs did a solid job as well with Derek and with Blaze and with Oleg. So, pretty much start to finish, I was pleased, but mostly because of the effort, Greg, and that's what we were looking for.
You mentioned you're missing shots early. As you went back and looked at it, were you getting good shots? Was the shot selection to your liking, or were you what did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought we had some good ones. I thought we had, Jawan, I thought took a couple rushed ones early, but it was good to see him knock down a couple in the second half. CJ had a couple that were very open, for him. We like him being aggressive and hunting shots. Casey had a couple good looks out there as well. Griesel had a couple open ones that I think he'll make. I think for the most part, we took good shots. We took one step back mid-range in the second half. I think about 15 minutes to go. But other than that, I was pleased with our shot selection.
It's got to be encouraging to you. I mean, that's one thing that if you start that, and that's the pattern early in a season, that should continue.
Yeah, it's been a really unselfish group, Greg, and that's one thing I've been really proud of our guys. They've shared the ball. We didn't show anything the other night against Chadron. We don't want to in the preseason. We'll do the same thing at Colorado, keep it very basic. But we've got a lot of things that we think can generate open looks for our shooters, and just step up with confidence and knock them down. But again, if we play with that kind of effort and intensity and have a defensive mindset, we're going to have a chance to win ugly games this year, which I'm excited for.
You forced 18 turnovers. That has to be pretty pleasing.
It was good. Our hand activity was good. And, listen, I know we weren't playing a Big Ten opponent, but, you got to go out there and take care of the business and the task at hand. And I thought our guys did that. So, now it's about carrying that over the next game. We had a long film session today. There was a lot of things that we needed to clean up. Had a really good, intense workout. We'll scrimmage with our team tomorrow. And now the next test is next Sunday at Colorado. And you're playing a team that was a 4 seed in the Pac-12 a year ago, and they're, I think, going to be one of the better teams this year. And it's a very physical, big team. It's going to be a completely different type of mindset and game that we saw the first one against Chadron, who brought in a bunch of junior college players that are very good with the ball. Talented players that can get downhill in a dribble drive type offense. Going back and watching some of Colorado from last year, it's much more of a try to pound you, get it inside, try to punish you on the glass. So it'll be a different challenge. Two good games for us to play heading into the opener on the 7th.
Derek Walker didn't miss a shot again for you. Only took 3, though.
Yeah, he was efficient. They did a good job fronting him, and that again gave us a good look on some missed execution on a high-low type action. We had 2 guys flash into the ball, or we didn't flash up quickly enough, and we didn't recognize it. We went back and watched all that. But when teams front us, especially with smaller players, we should be able to get something accomplished.
He's just doesn't miss inside.
Yeah, he's one of the more efficient players, and you see that with his numbers. I thought his last year, as the year went on, we did a really good job of using him as a playmaker in the pocket, getting him the ball on the block. And, that's really when our offense started clicking, towards the end of the year. And, we were one of the more efficient teams that last month of the season. A lot of that had to do with him. So, it's just, again, with him, with Blaze, with Wilhelm, you can slide him down to play some 5 just with the changes that he made to his body and, just give teams different looks.
You mentioned Wilhelm a couple times. How is he? Is he completely back in your eyes? And how valuable a player can he be for this team? Yeah,
his timing, it's still going to take him, especially in a game-type setting, in a game atmosphere, like he saw on Sunday. It's going to take him a while to get used to that speed again. But, he's no restrictions, and he's been that way for probably 4 or 5 weeks now when he got the green light to, not have any type of restrictions on his activity. So, we're still monitoring his load a little bit. If he gets really high, we have a little catapult system that we use, which is monitors everybody's load and explosive movements. And if it gets to the point where he gets really high and he looks like he has some fatigue out there, we will still pull him a little bit. But he really hasn't had any issues. And, I'm really proud of Wilhelm for how diligent he was with the rehab. And when you have that type of injury that pretty much eliminates your first season, he really attacked everything that he needed to work on. He worked on his body. He got stronger. He's more explosive now than he was when he got here. So he addressed some needs. And again, that's going to allow him, if we need to slide him over and play a little smaller. The thing we can do as well with this lineup is you can play a guy like Wilhelm at that position because you've got Jawan who can really rebound it. You've got Sam Griesel at 6'7" to the point that is a terrific rebounder. You got Denham who can go in there. You got CJ who's got good size. What he did with his body, he's more explosive. You just got a lot of guys that can go in there. Ramel's got good size, who can play some lead guard. Emmanuel, with what he does. So you've got guys with positional size across the board now, and that gives you some flexibility as far as maybe playing a little bit smaller at the 5 spot.
Can he help Derek by pulling a big away from the basket and let Derek maybe operate more one-on-one on the block?
Yeah, he can. And when you have, we call it gravity, when you have shooters on the floor that create that gravity that pulls the defender closer to them, obviously that gives you more room to work down on the block. And we've got some lineups that we feel pretty good. I know we didn't shoot it well on Sunday, but, we feel good about some lineups that we can throw out there that at least will have some gravity to allow our either playmakers to attack the seam and give them driving lanes where they can get into the paint and either spray it out or finish, or give our post-up guys an opportunity to go to work.
What's a reasonable expectation for Wilhelm on three-point percentage? Can he be a 35%?
Oh, I think so.
Guy?
I think so. He's a very good shooter. He works extremely hard at it. He's always in the gym getting extra shots up. He's had, I know this means nothing right now, but when you have a sample size now that's pretty big of percentages, Wilhelm has shot the ball very well so far in the preseason.
Well, he's, you look back at last year and the fact that he goes down right away, and then right after that, Trey. and I don't want to spend too much time about last year, but that just changed a lot of what you were thinking about doing as you got into that season.
Yeah, it did. It was actually Trey first. Trey went down in the third game of the year,
and then Wilhelm
with a broken foot, and then Wilhelm just a couple games after that. And those are two guys you knew what you were getting. I mean, Wilhelm, you knew was going to go out and give you a great effort. He was going to be all over the place. He was going to dive on the floor. He was going to rebound for you. And then Trey was, without question, our best perimeter defender. So you lose those two guys early, it does. It hurts. But again, it's next man up mentality. You got to be ready. Gave some other guys some experience. There are going to be key pieces for this roster this year that hopefully will have good years for us.
For the people that were at the game Sunday, they saw this, but C.J. Welcher looks like a different guy on the floor. Just physically, he looks different.
Yeah, another guy that really, what he did to attack his offseason, he knew what he needed to do to get quicker, to get more explosive, to be able to play longer, sustained minutes. And, just the things that he did to address that with some nutrition things, and then, had a great summer and a great offseason getting in the gym. And, he's another guy that has to make shots for us that proved he can do that at a high rate this past season, shooting over 41%. And CJ is going into he's only a sophomore, but it's his third year in college. So we're going to lean on CJ for a lot of things, leadership, a guy that can, settle us down out there on the floor. But I've been really pleased. CJ, just with everything he's done, he is a completely different person this year because of the changes he made to his body.
He probably was frustrated. Ball didn't go through for him Sunday.
That's okay.
That happens.
Listen, I always, if I didn't shoot well in the in the exhibition, I knew it was going to turn around. I mean, CJ's too good of a shooter. You saw that again. I mean, over the last half of last season, he shot over 50% from the three-point line and ended up, like I said, over 41 overall for the year. So, he came in. I watched film on all his shots with him. He was a little bit off balance. But when he sticks it and steps in with his footwork, I'm really surprised when it doesn't go in.
How is he on the other end of the floor?
Yeah, again, he's really improved because of the changes that he made to his body.
Physical body.
Still has the strength to get in. He drove Jawan in a play today where he just went in, got into his legs on a block out, and just drove him all the way underneath the basket. So big, strong body, even though he did lose, a significant amount of weight, still has the strength to go in there and battle with some bigger players.
Yeah. All right, the coach is with us till the top of the hour, 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question, or you can fire off a text. I know a lot of you prefer the text line. That is great if you want to do that. Our Sports Sunday hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. A lot more with the coach straight ahead.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
It's harvest special time, and you can save $3 per foot or $3,900 per quarter-mile system now on a T&L pivot system. Pivots worked long hours this season battling dry weather to save top-dollar corn and soybean crops. But did your pivots work like no other? If not, it's time to invest in a reliable, safe, low-maintenance T&L irrigation system. Hydrostatic drives move these durable workhorses continuously across fields. So get an irrigation system that works as hard as you do. Contact T&L Irrigation, your local T&L dealer, or visit us online at TLIRR.com. T&L irrigation systems like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
We are back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. It's our first basketball show for the year. The head coach with us until the top of the hour. If you want to be a part of this one, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Jeremy down in Texas said, "Hey, Coach, I attended a North Texas UT Arlington game last year and was surprised to see the name Hoiberg on the Mavericks roster. I cheered loudly for him that night.
Well, that's very nice of you. Jack had a great experience down there, and couldn't have played for a better guy. And Tom Izzo for 4 years at Michigan State, got his degree from there, and decided to use his last year of eligibility to go somewhere where he felt he could be in the rotation, which he was. He played about 18 minutes a night, and really had a big impact on a couple of their wins down there. So, couldn't be more proud of him, how he finished out his career, going to that situation down in Arlington, and, Greg Young's first year back as the head coach at UT Arlington. So, Jack did a great job. He actually just got hired by the San Antonio Spurs, so he's in their video room now, and those guys have been off to a great start. They're 3-1 this year so far, and Jack's absolutely loving it down there and working his butt off. So yeah, I'm proud of him, and he's got a really good future ahead of him.
And now one of your other sons is playing for you. That's got to be a kick.
Yeah, it's fun. Sam is after redshirting last year, he's been really instrumental as far as getting our guys together, and him and Sam Griesel and Emmanuel, they really CJ I think was part of it as well. Really talked about building great chemistry, and they spent a ton of time together off the floor, which is it's important. I think this group really has a care factor about the guy next to him, and when you have that chemistry, it puts you a step ahead of other teams that maybe have individual agendas. And that's one thing I've really been pleased with this group, is just in the off season they would be together. They spent a lot of time on the weekends. They all eat lunch together. They'll have dinners on off nights together. So, that stuff matters. When you're trying to, go out and win close games, you're looking for any advantage you can get. And, when you have that team chemistry, it's important. And like I said, Sam has been a big part of that.
Good segue, because you mentioned Sam and some of those guys. I want to kind of go back to March. You knew that the McGowans are probably not going to be back for you for this year. You had some other guys who were seniors and exhausted their eligibility, and so you knew you needed some experience. Take us through kind of some of those early days, and now the portal is such a big part of the sport.
Yeah, one thing that I talked to the staff about was finding experience and trying to find guys that had come from winning programs. And, we were very lucky to get Sam, and, he had some really good options out there, and he wanted to come home. He was a very passionate Husker, especially basketball fan, growing up, went to the camps, and when we had him on his visit, the thing that I liked most when we had Sam Griesel sitting in my office with his parents after watching a style of play edit with him, and how we felt he fit into everything that we were doing, how important his position was going to be with losing Alonzo and losing Bryce, who really were our two perimeter playmakers. So the opportunity to come in and really be in a featured role was there, and all he talked about, and this was really refreshing, is all I want to do is win. He said, I don't care how many shots I get, I don't care how many points I score, all I want to do is impact winning. And he really, because of growing up here and the passion he has for this program, he wants to see Nebraska basketball be where it's never been before. And, to get Sam was huge. You get your lead guard, you get a kid with great size and great versatility. Emmanuel Bandamel from SMU, and I've talked a lot about this, about how good of a culture kid he is, was another guy that played in postseason. Griesel played in the NCAA tournament. Bandamel played in the postseason. He's a back-to-back double-digit scorer, shot a high percentage from three. And the thing that's been most impressive is his willingness and ability to guard. And, when you have a 6'7" point guard, it gives you the flexibility to have a guy like Emmanuel guard the ball, and that's his strength, getting up full court, ball hawking the point guard, wearing him down as the game goes on. Another guy that doesn't care about offense. He wants to make his mark on the defensive end and knock down open shots. He's also, because of what happened to Karan, a guy that's going to play with the ball in his hands quite a bit when Sam's not in the game. So, you get that as your shooting guard. So that fills the backcourt. Now you get Juwan Gary, a guy that was part of an SEC championship team at Alabama, a guy that played in the Sweet 16 and had some really good moments in the NCAA tournament. The thing I've been impressed with Juwan is just how much he's worked on his perimeter game. And I think he was a 23% three-point shooter at Alabama. And, when we looked at him and really evaluated his shot, he really shifted onto his left side. We've worked very hard at correcting that, and he's become a very reliable shooter. And you saw a kid that played with great confidence. I mean, he took 7 of them the other day and kept shooting, especially when they started backing off of him, and knocked down 2 big ones for us in the second half. He came in just before I came over to the show and got in an extra workout this afternoon as well. So, another kid, I've said this, he reminds me of a guy that I had at Iowa State that was one of the more important players that I had, not because of the numbers that he put up, but what he meant to the team because of toughness. And it was a kid named Dustin Hogue, who was from the Bronx. So you get Juwan, he's got the same mannerisms, same game. And he just goes after everything. And you see his athleticism, you see his pop, and a guy that's going to give us a good force on the defensive end as well. And then the fourth, I guess, transfer from junior college was Blaze, another guy that won a national championship in junior college at Hutch, at Coffeyville, 2 years ago. So played for a great coach in Jay Herkelman. Another guy that's been really good picking up our defense. You saw him take 2 charge the other day and also attempted 2 other ones where I thought he was pretty well set. But, again, another Big Ten physical body, that we're absolutely going to need once we start league play.
Yeah, you've been on Blaze for a couple of years and had him locked in, and I think he signed last November with the early period. Juwan, and I don't know if you heard it or not, got a real big ovation late in the game Sunday just because people appreciated the effort he put out there. I don't know that he scores 23 points. Maybe not score that many in a game again this year, but he'll get after it every time you put him out there, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I thought our guys, so we have our crashers and we have our get-back guys. And when we're going back and watching the film, our crashers did their job pretty much every possession, wherever they were. Juwan came from half court on one of them to get us an extra possession. Denham was flying in from everywhere. Wilhelm was crashing every time he was supposed to go to the glass. Derek batted a couple balls out. Blaze was getting his hands on balls. So, again, we're going to need extra possessions this year, and obviously that was a huge weakness for us a year ago, was the glass. So, I feel because of our personnel, we're in a much better place to battle on that end.
19 offensive boards.
Yeah, I like that.
That's really good. Griesel, you probably knew when you got him that he needed some medical attention because he was beat up after last season. Make you hesitate at all, or was there enough other things you're like, we'll get through this, we'll take care of it?
Not at all. We knew we wouldn't have him in the summer at all, and he'd be very limited once we started our fall workouts. But the thing, when you watch film on Sam, from his games at North Dakota State, is just how smart he is. He's really hard to speed up. He's got a manual up under him every day in practice, or Denham picking him up full court. You just can't speed him up. But, the thing that we knew about that, even if we didn't have him in the summer, is how quickly he would pick things up. Instead of being on the floor, he and I would watch film. And then once he got the green light to go out and start shooting, we'd work on individual, just start his footwork, just work on all those little fundamentals. And now he feels better than he ever has. He was playing, he had a hip injury that required surgery in the offseason, and he had been playing the last couple of years in a ton of pain. So it shows you, one, how tough he is, and now being healthy, just how much better he's moving out there on the floor. And, that dunk he had, that shocked all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the reaction of Denham, but Denham jumped about 10 feet off the ground.
I saw that.
Over there on the side. But, Sam, he's got sneaky hops, and, to be able to go in there and with that size, when you have a point guard, he's a little bit, I kind of Mulcahy from Rutgers a year ago. He's 6'6". If you didn't have a good matchup on him, he made life very difficult on you. So, Sam gives you some of that. You can put him in the post. You can use him all over the floor, and then just his ability to play make. I think those things speak for themselves.
Dorothy Lynch, homestyle, light and lean dressing, endless flavor abilities. We discussed this the other night on the show. Who's going to be the leading scorer of this team? I could pick one of about 5 different guys, and that might be okay, because when teams scout you, they're going to go, well, who do we take away first? They may pick a different guy every night.
Yeah, I do think this team will have good balance to it, and some of the best teams that I've ever had have had teams where I think I had 5 that averaged double figures at Iowa State and a 6 that averaged over 9. So when you have that balance, I agree with you, Greg. It does make it difficult to scout, and you've got a lot of guys that are capable of having big nights.
How will this team be from the line? Have you seen enough in practice? Because obviously you're probably going to be in a boatload of tight games again.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of last year, I think we ended up being 4th in the league in free throw shooting, so we got better. Bryce was top 5 in the nation in free throw attempt rate, and obviously shot a very high percentage. Alonzo, I think, was in top 10 with players that had enough attempts, to be in the ratings. Was a good free throw shooter. Derek shot him very well as the season went on. So I hope good, Greg. Knock on wood. I mean, that's a big thing. And you're right, in close games, which we lost some early because we couldn't make free throws. So yeah, if you knock them down, be able to close out games, it's a very good luxury to have.
You were at Media Days in Minneapolis a couple weeks ago, and you had a stat of single possession games in the last 5 minutes. I think we were 4-10.
Yeah.
You got to be close to 500 at least, right?
You got to be better than that. I mean, to win, you're going to be in so many of them, and you got to be able to close them out. A big part of that is it gets your confidence going. When we got those wins at the end of the season, when we finally figured out, all right, we can get these. We beat Minnesota. Then I thought played Iowa very tough, who was playing as well as anybody in the country at that time, and then go win those 3 road games in a row. I mean, that team played with a lot of confidence, and then had a big lead in the Big Ten tournament, and then just fell apart there at the end of the game. But I thought, at the end of the season, our guys were doing a lot of little things. And if you win those close games early, it could have been a completely different season. Even the first game, you missed 4 free throws in under a minute. Ohio State at home, you missed 2 free throws.
NC State
under 15 seconds. NC State 4 overtimes. At Michigan, you had a nice lead. Rutgers at home. So, yeah, there were a bunch of those games, and in order to be a successful team, you got to find a way to win them.
A couple text questions for you, Coach. Just wondering how much effort do you put into the scheduling part of it? Do you look at a team you have on the schedule accordingly, or is it more of just who has an open date and who can match up with you in a day?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's certain things that are up in the air. Like, we didn't know this year if we were going to have a Gavitt game, and we ended up getting a road game at a very good St. John's team. So we thought that might have been an open date where we could have filled out with a bye game. We have a very difficult schedule. 28 of our 31 games this year are going to be against high major opponents. And, we're playing a loaded field in Orlando, which we start with Oklahoma. And then the second game would be Memphis or Seton Hall, and then the other side of the bracket is really tough as well. Obviously, Creighton's going to be a monster this year. I think they could start the season, certainly top 10, maybe top 5, and it's just got experience and size. I think it's Greg's his best team, so that's going to be a tough road game for us as well. And then the Big Ten, you look at some of these closed-door scrimmages when these results get out, the teams have fared very well, to this point. And then Kansas State, a huge addition with Keontae Johnson, a really, really talented player, that is going to have a huge impact. And we play that game down in Kansas City. Our bye games are going to be against good teams. So it's a mon, but you want it. I mean, you want a schedule that's going to help prepare you for the grind of the Big Ten schedule, which we get 20 of those games. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun for our fans for sure.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Children of the Corn on our YouTube stream wants to know, do you think this team could press more than some of your previous teams here?
Well, our pickup point will definitely be higher. And, what I mean by that is especially on dead balls, we'll get up and pick up full court. And when you have a guy like Bandamel and then you have a guy like Denham Dawson, you have 2 guys that can really create havoc on the ball handler and have it where they initiate their offense further up the floor. There'll be times where, we will apply some pressure. We showed a little bit of that at the end of last year. And, it is a team. We've worked on a lot of that. We've had several special situations when we've gone some 2-a-day type practices where we've worked on that a lot. But our pickup point definitely will be higher this year because of our personnel.
Yeah, Emmanuel, Denham, those guys can, Jawan, they'll get right up in you. You're going to love this one. Coach, behind you in the program that you're building, any tips about marrying into an Iowa State Cyclone family? The wedding is this weekend. Go Big Red.
Who's that from?
I don't have a name on this.
You don't have a name. Okay. Well, you're marrying somebody smart. I can tell you that. That's the first thing that I'll say. Congratulations, by the way. And yeah, listen, I loved my time, in Ames growing up there as a diehard Iowa State fan. and at some of the greatest moments of my life in Ames. So, yeah, you're going to marry somebody that I can promise you has a lot of passion for that program, but make sure they cheer for the Huskers.
There you go.
As well.
Get them some Cornhusker apparel to wear on that. Keep the text coming, 402-413-2400, our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. More with the coach coming up.
Woodhouse Nissan makes car buying easy, enjoyable, and stress-free. We will bring the dealership to your driveway with Nissan at Home. You can shop, drive, and buy a new or pre-owned Nissan, all from the comfort of your own home. Explore every aspect of the purchasing process at your pace and convenience. Get real pricing on your vehicle of choice, review lease and financing options, and complete a credit application. Get to your next adventure faster with Woodhouse Nissan.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. The coach with us till the top of the hour, 402-413-2400. Keep the text rolling, or you can also use the phone as well. Wanted to ask you about a couple of losses that hit close to home for Husker basketball the last month. Tom Lorenz, who ran Pinnacle Bank Arena since the doors opened, passed away tragically about a month ago. He was a good friend about anybody in Lincoln, and I know he was, you guys, that you're really proud to be able to play inside that building.
He was such a good man and did some incredible things, and really ran that building from the beginning. And he had such a gentle way about him. Anytime there was an issue, he'd always come up. You could have a great conversation about it. But just a wonderful person. The first time I met him, he's an Iowa State guy, and we bonded over that. And it was really sad when we found out the news just a couple weeks ago.
The other one was Rex Eckwald, a Husker basketball Hall of Famer, played for your grandpa. And it's been a few years since I'd seen Rex, but every time I'd see him, big old smile, and I guess pretty good player.
Yeah, very, very good player. And yeah, he did. He was instrumental for my grandfather. I know that. And always had a lot of great stories about him whenever I saw Rex. And, another guy, just a wonderful human being, great family. And, was really sorry to hear that news. So, but yeah, just did some wonderful things here at Nebraska.
Okay, go to some texts. Art in Los Angeles wants to know, Coach, if you ever get to hoop much anymore. They'd love to see you play, even if it's out in the driveway.
Oh man, Art, no, I don't play anymore. I'd hurt myself. When I decided to retire, so I had the open heart surgery back when I was 32 years old, and it was a very difficult decision for me to hang him up. I really wanted to go out on my own terms. I had a complication. I had my conduction system was knocked out, so I had a permanent pacemaker implanted at a couple days after the open heart. And once I got my strength back and talked to a lot of doctors, I got myself back in shape to play, and I pretty much had agreed to a contract with the Phoenix Suns. And Mike D'Antoni was the coach, and basically said, if you can run three-point line to three-point line, you can play in this system. So I was really close. I told my wife I thought I was going to do it. And then their team doctor stepped in, their cardiologist, and said, I've been talking to a lot of people around the world, specialists in this field, and I can't recommend you do it. I had 4 young kids. If I didn't have that, if I was single, I probably would have done it. But with a young family, I just did not think it was the right thing to do. So that's when I hung it up. And there was one moment, and this kind of goes to your question, Art, where I went out I moved into a front office position with the Timberwolves, and they had 9 guys in the preseason, and they needed a 10th to go out and play. So I went out and played, and I hadn't done anything in probably at least a month, probably 6 weeks. And I went out and I was hitting everything, and I was playing with, Garnett was on the floor, and I must have made about 10 threes, and I went home to my wife and said, you know what, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to try to go back out and play. And she said, you're out of your mind. You're not going to go play again. And I said, you know what, you're right. I am out of my mind. So, but that's as close as I was to playing, and really that was probably the last time I played, which is, kind of sad to hang him up for good. But, when I made the decision to move past it, I just thought, it's probably not worth it again. I played at one of my father's son camps when I was at Iowa State, and it was the same thing. I still shot it. I guess it's like riding a bike, right, as far as shooting. And I'll get out and shoot a little bit with the guys from time to time. But as far as playing, those days are behind me.
Yeah. Stephen Bellevue says, Coach, I want to thank you for scheduling UNO. We're going to be at the game. My girlfriend's grandsons are Frankie and Luis Fiddler.
Yeah, great players, and it's going to be a good test for us. I know Chris well. I think he's going to do Crutch. He's going to do a phenomenal job there. He put together a really good staff, and they did a nice job building that team. And Frankie's a heck of a player, and it's going to be a game where we're going to have to go out and play well. And again, hopefully we get off to a good start this year, Greg. We're going to have to win, our early ones, and hopefully give us a little momentum heading into the season.
All right, keep those texts coming. 402-413-2400. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with some final thoughts from the coach next.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of June 2022. Duteau Subaru in Lincoln and DuteauSubaru.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Welcome back inside our broadcast center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to call or text. I've asked you about a lot of guys that have not asked you about Denham Dawson. You got Denham last January, came early. How beneficial was that for you, and where has he grown in his game?
Yeah, it was important for Denham to come get a head start on everything, and he's ahead of where most freshmen are at this stage because he had a whole has been here for a significant amount of time. So really the first time I laid eyes on Denham is what you see what he did the other night. Just a guy that's going to go out there and play extremely hard. He's going to defend. He's going to go after everything. He talks. And he's a great teammate. So I've been really impressed with Denham's since the time he stepped on campus. And first practice, I'll never forget this. The ball went to the floor, and he just dove and attacked it. The first guy in his very first practice coming into a situation that's not easy when you enroll at semester. And he's going to be important for us this year.
Can he work his way into that rotation that you count on, you think?
I think so, yeah. From what you saw the other day, we're going to need somebody to go in and really disrupt offense. And, again, the way he went after the ball with his athleticism, you have to have that in this league.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig always. Call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Okay, Colorado is your next and final exhibition game. This is a charity return game from the one that they came here and played a year ago. What do you hope to get out of that? How much do you put in more scout work on this game? Do you put in more offense? How do you treat this one?
Yeah, we'll keep it pretty basic again. The one thing, I went back and watched our game against Colorado. I watched it today, actually, and man, that thing, we hit every shot. I think we had 33 points with about 12 minutes to go in the first half. It was one of those games where, you watch that and you're like, okay, we got something special here. And then you lose a couple close ones early, and, then you get a couple key guys that go out, and, just obviously wasn't the type of year that we wanted. But, we do want this to be a game that prepares us for the opener on the 7th. And, we're going to play a lot of guys. Again, I think it's important to get that experience because you never know what's going to happen over the course of a season. Plus, that altitude is a real thing. And, guys get winded. Hopefully they get their second wind quickly, but we'll shuffle guys in and out of there pretty quick early. So, don't have any film on them at this point. They have a lot of changes as well this year. I talked to Tad a little bit a couple days ago. We exchanged some notes, and he really likes his team. And, sounds like from the scrimmage that they played against a very good team, they fared very well. So, we know it'll be a good test. Whatever happens, we're going to learn from it and then hopefully be ready when the 7th comes around.
Pretty nice to have a road experience that doesn't count. I mean, just getting guys on a plane, getting them in a hotel, going through all that.
Yeah, it's a great experience because we've got obviously some early challenges with this team and with the schedule that we put together. The game at St. John's, that's our 3rd game of the year after opening up against Maine and Omaha. And then shortly thereafter, we go to Disney, to Orlando for 3 games. And then we're going to go to Kansas City to play Kansas State, and then a game at Creighton. So it really is. This, for any year that you're going to have to play a road exhibition, this is a good one.
You played in that building. That was open in the old Big 8 days.
I hated it, man.
Really?
That altitude. It just, I don't know. It really did hit me hard. Once I got past that, I was okay. I love playing in Denver. The Nuggets, that was my favorite gym to shoot in. We played the Nuggets in the playoffs when I was with the Timberwolves, and I just loved shooting in that gym. And we had a great win. I think my sophomore year at Colorado, where we threw a full court pass, and I don't know if you remember the name Justice Thigpen,
sure.
But he had a runner from behind the 3-point line as time expired, and won that game at Colorado. So they had good teams back then. Donnie Boyce, was a heck of a player. We were the same age, but they had good teams, good players, and that arena was always hard to play.
Then they brought Chauncey in, I think, right after Donnie Boyce.
Yes, that was after I was gone. Yeah, he was one of the best.
Well, congrats on Sunday. I think everybody that went to the game was really impressed with what they saw from effort and attitude of this team. I think it's going to be a good team to follow and cheer for. I really do.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Greg. Great being back here. Good seeing you guys, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Travel safe.
Yeah, thank you.
Go out there to Colorado and get off to those buffaloes out there. All right, folks, want to invite you to go to a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 4th. Get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin game in Lincoln on November 19th, plus a pregame tailgate. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you could be a winner this season. Huskers and Buffaloes Sunday. We'll have it for you here on the network. 5 o'clock tip, 4 o'clock pregame coverage. Kent and Jake will be all over the coverage of that game, and that'll do it for the exhibition. Then it's off to the regular season. 2 weeks from yesterday when the Huskers will begin the 2022-2023 season. Don't go away. We have another hour of sports highlight. Jessica will rejoin me next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. From the GMC Acadia to the Buick Encore, we're sure to have a vehicle that fits your lifestyle. Our climate-controlled showroom guarantees a comfortable shopping experience every time you visit. Plus, our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Start your car buying journey today, in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Greg Sharpe. After a bye week, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are getting set to return to the gridiron Saturday against nationally ranked Illinois. Interim head coach Mickey Joseph met with the media today and stressed how much of an impact the fans can have on this week's game.
I think, our crowds, we have some of the best fans in the country. And just being loud and being into the game and trying to disrupt their offense. And try, where they don't get the clap and what they do on offense, but just being loud and being there to support us.
The Huskers and Illini will kick off Saturday at 2:30. Our pregame coverage begins at 10:30 with Husker Game Day. The Big Ten Conference will release next season's conference football schedule tomorrow. The release will be televised by BTN starting at 11 a.m. Need to buy or sell heavy equipment, trucks, or trailers? GoCurrency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Now get ready for Sports Nightly coming up on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Well, under center goes Casey Thompson, Yantha Deepak. They turn, give it off to Jock, left side. Leans, he's in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ask and ye shall receive. After the second attempt, Griesel in transition, leaves his feet, the trailer, and a dunk with a right hand off the feet from Sam Griesel. It's Jawan Gary.
Woo! Jessica Nungi serves. Good pass. Huskers quick attack. Kaboom! Kalen Horde, great connection with Nicklin Hames. It's 11-6. Big Red set one.
That is the best connection I have seen between Nicklin Hames and Caitlin Horde so far this season.
Here's Sam driving, and he stops it with a right hand. And there, my friends, is a tremendous hit right there.
Hitting tips. No. Now Nebraska feeds outside. And Maddie full swing down. Kaboom! All the tipping. Until Maddie decided enough of that. This is not a restaurant.
Tip try by Gary. Missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Casey turns, hands it off to Grant, pushes his way near the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska! And it's a 7-point game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back with Sports Nightly, hour number 2 tonight, following our first men's basketball show of the year with Fred Hoiberg. Next, tomorrow night, Amy Williams will be in for the first hour of the program, her first women's basketball show. They have their lone exhibition game Sunday at PBA. The Washburn Ichabods will be in town for a 1 o'clock tip. We'll have it for you here on the network at 12:45. Thursday night, double dip of coaches' shows. Volleyball show with John Cook and our football show with Barrett Rude will be in here for hour number 2 on Thursday night. Big volleyball match tomorrow night. Here we go.
Here we go.
1 versus 5.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
Should be good. Maddie Kubik came up to the press gathering today, and they were asking her about, what's the field house like to play in? And she goes, well, it's kind of a dungeon. She goes, it's not very nice. And so then John Cook comes up, and he was the head coach there for a while. So that was his home court for a while. And he goes, oh, I love it. It's like, old traditional place. You got different responses from player and coach.
Yeah, and I'm sure, too, just some nostalgia there for Coach Cook and just the appreciation of the history where, a lot of the players like the when it's nicer and you have the nicer locker rooms. I have no idea probably not very nice with locker rooms like that. If they try to, like with football locker rooms, they try to not give you very nice locker rooms, So one at Purdue is not very good.
Ooh, boy, it's
so
rough.
I don't know if they do the same for volleyball. Let's try to get in the heads or whatever.
I like where the Huskers are at, though. 11 straight wins. They've swept their last 6 matches, so here they go. And John talked about that today. They're at the midway point of conference season, and he goes, now we have a batch of home games. He said, so the back half, he goes, we play maybe the better side of the bracket in the back half, but we have a lot more home matches after this Wisconsin match tomorrow night. So
I don't feel like they've played much at home recently.
They haven't. They're going to have a bunch coming up, though.
That's good.
Let's go. Good stuff. All right, also coming up, a couple of home football games. Illinois this week, Minnesota next week. We're going to hear from Mickey Joseph later in the hour. He met with the media. Jessica, he did confirm that the season is over for Nick Henrich. We kind of thought that. Even Trev Alberts last week when he was in here with us kind of alluded to that was probably it. I don't think we're surprised. I'm certainly disappointed. And I hurt for the young man. I feel bad that his season is over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he not only because of what he does at that inside linebacker position, but he's just such a leader, and he's the quarterback, him and Luke, and they've played so much football together. But, I've talked about this so much I just loved his approach when he came out of the locker room, because a lot of times when you see teams and their star player or their leader goes down, and you just see the morale just tank. And he was so aware of that and wanted to hey, I'm okay. Hey, go out there and play hard. And he was coaching up his guys, and so being the biggest cheerleader and coaching up those younger guys. But I do think, if there's a silver lining, it came with a bye week. And I think you saw some of those guys that we've seen. Ernest Hausmann, just the more he plays, the better he's going to get every time he plays. And Vaugh, and the more experience, they're going to keep getting better and more comfortable in that spot. And Chris Kolarvik has played a lot of football too. So we have a bye week, and then this week. And here's the thing, they know that they're the guys now this week going into it. And so I think they'll be prepared and they'll be ready to go. Opportunity, next man up, right?
Right. We referenced this yesterday. The depth chart came out yesterday. Chris Kolarvik looks like he might start next with Luke Reimer. And that's the good news. Luke is back, should be healthy, good to go. So he just missed that one game at Purdue. So that's good to get one back there. The other injury update that he gave was to the offensive line. He said Brock Bando is rehabbing, getting closer, and he mentioned Kevin Williams is close. And he said Brock is closer than Kevin, but they think they're both going to be back before the season's over.
That will be huge to get Kevin Williams back. When he came in and played, he looked pretty good.
He did.
And came off the bench. And again, just providing that depth. I talked to you about this, I can't remember when, but it just seemed like the numbers were just dwindling. It was a group that a lot of times you see there's a lot of bodies there, right? But the last couple of games, it just has dwindled down those numbers. And we've gone through them so quickly, so it'll be just huge to get that depth back up and just to be able to have those bodies to rotate in. But Kevin Williams would be a huge addition to be able to move. I'm assuming he'll play right tackle, or he played left tackle when Turner, when Turner went down.
He can play guard. He can play really kind of about maybe anything except center he could do. You think about it, Jessica, we're down 4 linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, Nuri, we lost in June with the suspension, and then Teddy goes out with a knee. Williams is out with, I guess it's a knee. I'm not totally sure. And then Brock Bando has been out. That's 4 of your probably top 10. That's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nuri was the guy that's the most proven, most experienced, right? I mean, he had played a lot of football even before he had gotten here, and so that really hurts, and you shuffle people around. And Turner's played multiple positions. It's just not easy. And Jeremiah and I have talked a lot about it, because obviously he's the O-line guy, right, on our podcast throughout the weeks of just it's not easy to move positions and shuffle around like that, because so much about, and I know they say the right things like, hey, we got to be ready for whatever, but it's just so much about chemistry and playing together and getting in that rhythm of playing in that spot. And we get into the weeds, and Jeremiah talks about how hard it is to go from tackle to guard and guard to center, and it's just not easy to do. And so but I think they've game planned around it, and the offense still, they looked good last week and were able to put some points up. And so hopefully they'll get now that, and I sat down with Casey today, and he talked about that too, just a lot of guys that were banged up after that Purdue game. Hopefully they'll get some guys healthy and they can get back to as close to full strength as you can be right now.
You mentioned Turner. They brought about 4 or 5 players up today, and he was one of them. And good for him, because that line is being criticized. They're giving up a lot of pressures to Casey, but Turner got up there and answered the questions and was very calm about it and talked about, we know we need to be better. We need to try to get a running game going. We need to try to get Anthony Grant kind of going, so we're not just relying on throwing the football all the time. It's a pretty mature thing when a guy comes up when he and his position have been under attack.
Turner's taken that on, being one of the leaders in that group. And boy, he is, I know you've done a couple interviews with him. He's impressive to talk to. He's really smart, knows the game, understands it. And I think he wants that responsibility, a little bit like, some of the Cam Jurgens last year was so great. And
he only would talk to you after losses.
After losses. He wanted to be the voice, because he wanted to go stand up there and take the bullets for his team and defend his teammates. And he literally would only speak to me a lot of times after losses. And I actually told a scout that. He had called me about Cam Jurgens. I was like, I really like Cam, and I appreciate that, he would do interviews after losses, and he was really good about it. And so I think Turner wants to be the voice, and he wants to stand up and protect his guys. And I really respect Turner. I think, it's not been easy for him. He's played, almost every position on the line except for center. And I think he was working out at center some. And so, it's just not easy, and he's been having to shuffle. And so you don't, and again, another thing that Jeremiah talks about, because he's the expert, not me, about, getting really good at one spot. Turner's not had the opportunity to do, because every year he's been here, he's just not settled in at one spot. And hey, we're going to stick you here and you get really good here. But they've just had to ask him to play whatever they needed him to be at any given time, and he's been willing to do that. So he's a team guy, and I really like Turner, and I think he wants to take on that leadership role in that group.
It's a busy day for press conference day. It started off, Amy Williams came up and addressed the media. As we mentioned, they've got their one exhibition game coming up on Sunday. Mark Manning made an appearance today at the old press conferences. The Mangler was there. They've got their opening duel on the 4th of November, so not this Friday, but next Friday. I do have a request in to try to talk to him before next Friday. He's excited about his team. He thinks they might be a better dual team this year than they were last year. Ridge Levitt is a guy who's wrestled for a national championship last year. He's back, so that season's about ready to begin as well.
That is exciting. Wow. He's having to replace a lot of guys.
Sure it is.
So the fact that he feels like it's a better dual team, boy, he's got some talent coming in then.
Sure does. So looking forward to all that. I know we have a lot of big wrestling fans out there listening, so we're going to get to you. But they're about 10 days away from their start of their season with North Dakota State at the Devaney Center on Friday, November the 4th. So if you're a wrestling fan, put that on your calendar. And we ran into our intern, Sammy Hawk, at the training table tonight. She's excited, nervous, anxious. Soccer has a home match in the Big Ten tournament. It's now at noon on Sunday, and tickets are on sale if you want to go watch that.
Yes, and a lot of cool promotions going on, and they're giving $2 hot dogs,
Pepsis,
and Cokes or Pops, whatever you call them, and popcorn, and students. I know they're giving away some tickets to students, so get on out there, support the Huskers. They need to win a couple, right, in this tournament to be able to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So make the home field advantage, something that's big for them, and give them that home field advantage so that they can move on and hopefully win a couple so that they can get into the big tournament.
First time they've been in the conference tournament since 2018, so it's been a 4-year drought for them to get in there. All right, 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. We got Mickey Joseph clips to get to. He was pretty entertaining today, as he normally is. Looking forward to jumping into that. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up next.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Buick GMC. No matter where you're heading or what tasks need tackling, there's a premium and capable GMC truck that's perfect for you. Make a statement on the job site, out on the town, or wherever life leads you in the powerful and distinctive Sierra 1500, or elevate your driving experience in the adventurous and innovative Canyon. Explore our inventory online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com or visit our indoor showroom today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Outside Jazz Shelley for three. You betcha. Jazz hits her third three, and she's got 11.
Right at Allie Badenhorst. Good pass left side swing. Whitney Lonstein. Kaboom!
Tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m., Amy Williams will join us for her women's basketball coach radio show. Starting at 7:30, pregame coverage with John Baylor and Lauren Cook West will take the air as Nebraska plays Wisconsin in volleyball. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Tuesday night, Sports Sunday here on the Huskers Radio Network. Got a text question for you. When's the last time you lost a game of horse?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was asking you. When are you going to ask me that question? Because I know that was for me. And
came in at 650.
Well, I mean, I don't lose in horse, so you can ask Andrew.
Have you taken Andrew down?
Actually, we haven't played, but I don't lose in horse.
He's a chronic athlete, I'm told. That's what he's telling me.
He can't shoot.
That's what he tells me.
I posted a video of him trying to shoot the other day in the gym, and it was a big clank.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into tonight's GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. Mickey Joseph met with the media today, the normal Tuesday press conference following the bye week, and he just kind of gave a State of the Union of what the last 10 days have been like.
We use this bye week to get a little healthier, clean things up in all areas. It's beneficial to have this week just because that I hope it helps us down the stretch. Because we got 5 games back-to-back in a tough, physical Big Ten conference. So my thing is talking to the team that we gotta match our opponent physicality, and starting this week with Illinois. Illinois 17 ranked team is a well-deserved ranking. They have a really physical rushing game with Chase Brown Kitty's a really good runner, but they're really good on defense. They top in the country in every category. They have a really good scheme. They're well coached and they stick to their guns. So this week, we're going to need our fans on this one. We're going to need our fans to be loud and help us out a little bit.
Speaking of, did you see the comment from Brett Bielema? It was kind of like a backhanded compliment because he was saying that Nebraska fans are loud and they understand the game and they are very knowledgeable about the game, but also if you make one good play, they go silent.
Huh.
He apparently said that in his press conference.
Okay.
So, he was kind of being nice, and then all of a sudden he went back and said it just takes one play to silence them. So there you go.
Okay.
But, the physicality, I think that's kind of a token Brett Bielema team, right? And you kind of know that going into it. So you're going to have to be physical.
Interesting, the bye week, a lot of times you can work with some of the younger players. Remember, you still have some guys that have not played yet that you could get a game or 2 or 3 up to 4 and save that red shirt. You kind of wonder if maybe with some of these injuries at spots, maybe some guys we haven't seen play yet, maybe get some reps.
Absolutely,
in some of these games.
Yeah. And we've heard Mickey saying that since he took over, that they want to get guys on the field that have earned it and that they think can help them win football games. So if some guys have come along now with the season and the bye week, like you said, then who knows who we might see run out there.
Well, one guy that traveled to Purdue was Jake Applegate.
Yes, he did.
Young man from Lincoln Southeast. I don't know if he got in the game, but he was on the trip.
What was funny, too, is for some reason he was a guy that the student section was targeting a lot.
Because of his name, maybe?
Maybe. They were calling him Applegate, so I don't know.
That's probably a name
but,
thing. How about that? Your first trip, you're getting heckled.
Yeah, right? He never talked to him or anything. He was stonewalled, so he handled it well, but yeah.
He's probably like, how do they even know who I am?
I was like, why are you going after him?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's kind of funny.
You see a lot more of that, I think, in hoops than you do football. Because it's a smaller roster, and those the red zone type sections will get together and go, let's identify somebody we want to pick on during the game.
Yeah, they have a game plan going into it. But I also think it depends on the venue, because if the students are right there up close.
And they were at Purdue.
And if they don't like the way, even like Tommy Hill, obviously he's very animated, and he's a guy that has a big personality, and so then they started going after him. And so I think they get a feel for it, and if, they'll attack some guys. But, for some reason, it was Jake that was getting a little bit of it at Purdue.
I feel bad for him.
How is Michigan? Are they close like that?
No, you're in front of like their big donors on that sideline.
What about Iowa?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll come.
Yeah.
And the students?
And it'll be nasty.
Yeah.
It will not be fun.
Because Purdue was like the first time.
You might want to wear a hard hat.
Because, it was like, Rutgers really wasn't. And the crowd that was behind the bench at Rutgers was pro-Nebraska.
There were
a lot of Husker
people
fans.
were, yeah.
And then Purdue was the first one that was they were right there and yelling at us.
Well, the Purdue game was certainly a showing out moment for Trey Palmer. Set the school record for receiving yards. So you got to think defenses are now going to be aware of him. Mickey was asked about, do you think Illinois will try to push some of their coverages to try to stop Trey? And what do you do to counter that?
Well, if you look at it, you had a really good game, but you would think that Illinois they're going to do what they do, and they play man coverage, and they might try to bracket him, but I'm sure he's going to get more attention for the game that he had.
This goes to what you said. We got other guys that can go make plays happen, and now we may have to go to them.
I think that's where this offense has a strength, and that's why they keep wanting to throw the football, because they have seen and saw, and if you go back to the Oliver Martin interview that I did with him back in the spring, they knew that they had a lot of depth and talent in the wide receiver room that they could utilize. And, okay, you take Trey Palmer out of it, then Marcus Washington is going to have a one-on-one matchup. And that is why Mickey Joseph preaches. It's all kind of comes full circle. It's why he, from the first game, was preaching, hey, win those one-on-one battles. There's no ball that comes your way if you're going one-on-one. It should be an 80-20 advantage for you. Not 50-50. It should be 80-20. And so any guy that's matching up one-on-one, they believe that they're going to win that matchup. And so that's why Marcus Washington, Oliver Martin, even Omar Manning, if he's healthy, Travis Vokalek. There's so many other guys that, okay, if you're going to try to shade towards Trey Palmer, then there's other guys that are going to have one-on-one battles that they also believe can win those one-on-one matchups.
And they do anticipate Illinois playing a lot of man coverage on Saturday. All right, we talked about this a lot more last week than this week, but the defense at Purdue had to defend over 100 snaps. And some of that was because Nebraska was scoring so quickly. 2-3 play drives and throwing it deep and scoring. Mickey's like, what's the balance there? I mean, do you want to try to take off time off the clock or score points? He had an interesting answer. Listen here.
Well, we got to try to score points. We got to try to score points fast. I know everybody want to talk about the time of possession, but the offense scored 37 points, and I can't go to the offense and say, don't score in a minute. You know, I gotta let them score, you know, and the defense understands that, you know, so the time of possession was a little off, but I think sticking to our guns, do what we do. You know, we want to throw the football. We want to throw the football, but we got to get Anthony going this week. We got to get him going. We got to get a running game going this week.
Yeah, I mean, and going back to when he was a wide receivers coach, that's what they said. And that's what the offense, that's the messaging that we've heard from Coach Raiola, Coach Becton, Coach Joseph, now Coach Casano. It's like, hey, our job is to score, go score. And they're not going to pull back the reins on what this offense does, you know. And so, to me, the time of possession is not as big of a deal if you're scoring points, right? And so, but yeah, I do think against a team like Illinois, you got to be able to have some balance. So,
you do.
But that balance, just adding a little bit of a run game, they're still going to throw it a lot more than they're going to run it.
And Anthony Grant's a good football player.
Yes.
So you do want the ball in his hands some as you move forward. Illinois is number one in some key defensive categories. Number one in the country defending the pass. And they have picked off a boatload of passes in their first 7 games of the year. Mickey was asked about why are they so good at doing that?
Well, like I said, they don't do much. So they go, you know, you got this man and you're going to be over this center and let's play football. And it's like it's simple, but like I said, they do it well and they well coach with their technique. So they play their technique is really good.
And I also think a little bit of that is a product of the schedule.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Coach Joseph, I heard him say, like, the numbers don't lie, but I think a little bit here the numbers do lie, because if you look at some of the teams that Illinois has shut down, they don't have elite passing offenses. They don't pass. Like, Minnesota runs the football. Wisconsin runs the football.
Iowa, I'm not sure what Iowa does.
Iowa doesn't do anything offensively.
Indiana throws it a lot, but they don't score against decent defenses. We shut them down in the second half here. I'm with you. I don't think they've seen a quarterback anywhere as talented as Casey or a group of wide receivers like this group.
No, absolutely not. And so that's where, and I actually had an interview with Casey Thompson today, and I think this offense will go into it like, oh, this is the #1 defense in the country. I think they'll embrace that challenge.
Absolutely.
Hey, okay, they are only allowing 9 points a game or less than 9 points a game. Let's go show what we can do. I think it'll be a challenge that they'll embrace to go show that, hey, we can put up some points no matter who's we're lined up against.
Let's switch to defense, and we talked about this in the previous segment about the loss of Nick Henrich, and Chris Kolarvik is going to have to probably will start now opposite Luke Reimer. You're probably going to see Va Clements play a little bit more, maybe even Ernest Hausman in that spot. Here's Mickey talking about that inside linebacking core and guys that are now going to have to play more with Nick Henrich out.
Well, they got to step up. They understand that. You know, they played snaps. You know, after Chris went down, Chris and Va played a number of snaps. Then Ernest went in. So all 3 of those guys got to step up.
And we'll finish with this. You know, this team, you can just see that there's more of a confident level around this team. Even with the loss and coming off the field in West Lafayette, I think they felt like they let that one kind of get away. And so I still think that there's a confidence level that is surprising, honestly, with as little success as this program has had. Mickey was asked, when did you kind of see that flip with this team?
Right after the Oklahoma week, you know, after everything settled down for them and they start believing in what we were doing. And so it's right after the Oklahoma week.
He's right.
Yeah.
After Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I think, too, you know, sometimes last year, because this team played so well in so many games and we're right there, sometimes it felt like wins even in close losses, you know. But that Purdue loss felt so different because this team was not happy. Like, Trey Palmer was devastated, you know, and Casey was upset. I mean, this was not a team that walked away with a moral victory by keeping it close at Purdue. So I think, yeah, that mindset, that mentality has switched, and they absolutely believe that every game that they go into that they can win.
That is our practice report presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, and trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. All right, phone lines back open for you. 402-413-2400 if you have any thoughts about this. If you have some thoughts about Husker basketball after hearing Coach Hoiberg last hour, we can certainly dive into all that next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
Nope, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes 2X, 10X, or 20X scratch tickets for a chance to win $1, $5, or $10,000. It's the Holiday Wishes second chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
One of the best Thanksgiving traditions is football. And this year, one of the best ways to celebrate that tradition is to hit the road with the Huskers and AAA. This year's annual Black Friday game will be played in Iowa City, and AAA is giving Huskers fans a chance to win a road trip package, including 2 game tickets, a gas card, and hotel accommodations. Enter now for a chance to win at Huskers.com/AAA road trip. Again, that's Huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA.
Let Shelter Insurance get you in the game this football season. The Nebraska Huskers are gearing up for another big year, and this is your chance to win tickets from Shelter Insurance and the Husker Radio Network. Contact a Nebraska Shelter agent, and they'll register you for a chance to win tickets to one of 4 home football games this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Huskers and ask them to register you to win.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sedillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Tuesday night, 402-413-2400. That's the number to call us or fire off a text. Jeremy in Texas says, I have a horse question. How you all play the game. If I played behind you and I get an E, do you all have to do the prove it shot where you have to make the same shot to put me out? If you miss, I'm still in it. If you make it, then I'm out. I feel like I'm the only one who's ever played it that way.
No, that's how I've always played it too. You have to prove it. Andrew, you have to prove it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what we're talking about.
On horse, you have to prove it, right?
So if the guy gets an E, does the person who is going to be the winner then have to make that shot to close it out or not?
Yes.
All right.
Redemption is what I call it.
Okay. So, Jeremy, there you go.
I
There's
called
your
it
answer.
prove it, yeah. So that's how I played it, Jeremy.
Okay. All right. So there we go. Got all that in there. So
You should have no problem proving it, right? That's the mindset you should have.
close out a game, close it out right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do that. See, these are the high-level questions that we are here to serve and handle for you on a nightly basis.
We'll break down. We'll tell you how to play a horse, the proper game of horse.
Goodness gracious. Oh, my.
My favorite basketball game, though, was money. We called it money. It was all three-point. You had to go around the three-point line.
Isn't that, some people call that around the world?
No, that's that's around the lane.
Okay, around the lane.
Yeah, that's what I always played anyways.
21, yeah.
Knockout.
21. Knockout, yeah. Those good driveway games. That's what those things are
Played
for.
them all.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. It's been so weird. It seems like it's been a long time since we've seen this team play. And I know it's only been like 10 days, but the guys I saw today, I saw Phelan Sanford, Turner, Marcus Washington, Casey, I bumped into him. I loved the vibe around him. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, they needed a bye week to get healthy, but I think they did that. I know Casey feels really good, and it's just the mentality. I mean, they believe in this team. They never have lost belief. They love Mickey, and they have bought into Mickey. And, yeah, I mean, they want to compete, and I do too. I really like the vibe. And, you know, you go back to how this team looked coming off the bye week against Indiana.
Pretty good.
They looked pretty good.
Yes, they did.
And so hopefully, you know, again, they'll apply the same things that they did coming off the bye week there and apply it here and come out and have a good start and put the pedal to the metal.
We have a discussion about the horse rules going on in the chat room. The guys, most are in agreement with us that you do have to prove it at the end.
Yeah, you do. What, they don't?
Well, Brandon is saying... So he says, notice the period, hence the extra shot. You shouldn't have the retake as you make them cause to get the E.
That sounds like someone who doesn't feel confident in making the final shot again. Just kidding, Brandon. Just kidding.
Limping to the finish line of that contest. Going on with that.
Oh.
That's fun. That's fun right there. This has been such a busy week, and it's going to be really busy. We talk about this time of year a lot. The crossover season, it's really, really busy for us here at the network. I love this time of year. I love the weather this time of year. College football, NFL's in full swing, and then here you introduce basketball, and you got a great volleyball race going on. This is just a fun time to be around on campus.
November is my favorite month of the year, and I just love when you've got it's big time football games. A lot is on the line for when your football team takes the court, but then the excitement of basketball season started. I know Andrew doesn't get too excited about basketball season started, but I really do. And so I love like when those teams like take the court for the first time, learning and seeing what they're going to be. And basketball season is my favorite. And so, yeah, I love November because you have the just all of the intense and the importance of what's on the line every time you play in a football game, but then also here's the start of basketball season. I love it. And then you throw in Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday.
Great stuff. Good stuff right there. All right, 402-413-2400. Folks, if the Huskers return the first or the second half opening kick for a touchdown, which I think is going to happen, I still have a feeling Tommy Hill's going to break one. You could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto Family dealership this season. A contestant chosen each game week. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. Before I go to the break, Tommy Hill, am I wrong to think he's going to have an impact on the offense in these last 5 games of the season?
I am absolutely with you. I think he was working in, I told you, like at Rutgers, he was standing right next to Coach Whipple a lot of the time, like trying to take in the offense. And then there was a couple of times that you could tell, and I told you during a commercial break one time, I was like, I think something's about to happen with Tommy. They had some play, I think, that they were trying to go to with Tommy. And then, but it's fun to see how much he's so well liked on the sideline, and like like there's a couple times people just like laugh, but he's such a team guy, and he's hyping up the defense still. He's going over there and talking to him. So I think he's a guy that he's such a team guy, and a lot of times guys want to reward that, you know, and he has such speed, and I think I agree with you. I think they're going to try to, and shoot, maybe we will see one of those wrinkles here this week.
If you're going to slide a safety over to cheat on Trey Palmer, and you line up Tommy on the other side of the field, and you say you run a go route, it can be an easy 6 points.
Another one of those guys that we were saying that, hey, you match up one-on-one, it's going to be really hard for your defensive backs to do.
That's right, particularly if you're cheating toward Trey's side.
Yep,
which
absolutely.
Now Trey has established himself as a star wide receiver. I'm ready to go. Let's see that Saturday right here.
Hey, Coach Joseph, you need some suggestions? We got you.
Right here. That's great. All right, we need to take a break. Come back and wrap this thing up. Maybe we'll have more horse discussion next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Screen pass out to Washington. He's drilled right away. What a great play made on the edge by Chris Kolarvik.
Quick attack, and Caitlin Horn blasts that one to the deep corner. Kaboom! Nebraska back within one.
Thursday. Join us from 6 to 7 p.m. as we will host our volleyball coach radio show with John Cook. In the 7 to 8 p.m. hour, we will be having our football coaches radio show with Barrett Rude. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number to call or fire off a text. Carla on our text line says, okay, wondering minds want to know, why is the game named horse? Why not iguana or orangutan?
Boy, orangutan would be fun. Who could spell that? Can you spell it?
Yeah, I could.
Spell it.
O-R-G-A-N-U-T-A-N. Carla, you can pick
T-A-N?
T-A-N.
Okay.
I think T-A-N. I think it's the
I
last
don't know.
one. Carla, you can pick any word you want to spell, and you just have to. You get a letter from Mrs. That's how you get the letter. But you can go pig.
Yeah.
You can go horse. You can go cow. You can go whatever. Orangutan.
That'd be hard to keep up with. Like,
did I just get a G or a U on this?
Yeah, that'd be hard.
And Crypto King wants to know if you're playing horse with multiple players, are the rules any different?
No, you still have to prove it.
Crypto goes, God, Greg, I'm with you. We play pig. Yeah. It depends on how much time you have. If you're crunched for time and you're out in the playground, like Andrew is a lot of times, and you got to get to work in 5 minutes, you better play pig, not horse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it...
3 letters instead of 5.
Pig, horse, I don't know. I don't know why I think that's just how... It'd be interesting to see where that even started.
Oh, it's been around for years.
I know,
right?
but
Ancient.
who started it?
That's a good point. Well, the game of basketball has only been around probably 120 years, so...
Yeah.
Sometime in the last 120 years.
It's almost like, I mean, if you play basketball, you've played horse, you know?
No doubt. No doubt. Brandon in the chat room is questioning your Oklahomaness. He thinks that's an Oklahoma rule. Also, he went and got ice cream tonight, and I do not see any in the building. So what's going on here?
Yeah, and they've been talking about Dairy Queen all night, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know why he thinks he's blaming it on my Oklahomaness, because Jeremy just texted in, and he's from Texas, and Andrew confirmed with me, and he's from Kansas. So I don't know if it's like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas deal or what, but I don't know why Oklahoma's getting blamed.
it's most people play horse, prove it to finish out and close out a game. So is this turned into the Friday show somehow? Is this like the party show tonight?
This is that one night we came in and we were talking about, I don't even know what it was, but the whole 2 hours was talking about rushing the field and stealing goalposts. Like, that's what this has turned into.
Right? Remember that?
Like 3 segments of talking about horse. You never know what you're going to get into.
Yeah. And now Tim from Minnesota is making sure we know how to spell orangutan.
You said O, so you spelled it wrong. So if it's spelled with an A, then you spelled it wrong.
Huh. I'm going to Google that after the show tonight. It's over to figure this thing out. All right, tomorrow night, again, we'll have Amy Williams, her first show. They have their exhibition with Washburn coming up on Sunday, and then you and I are back for a short show because volleyball pregame starts at 7:30. We'll recap Bill Bush and Mark Whipple tomorrow. They'll meet with the media. Can't wait to hear what they both have to say.
Yeah, boy, again, a lot of game planning over the last couple of weeks, and can't wait to see the chess pieces. And again, just the adjustments also that we've seen even at halftime. Like,
good.
You know, from even at Purdue, what Bill Bush did coming out of the half. And so, you know, I think, and I keep going back to the interview with Casey, but I thought it was fascinating. He had talked about what it's been like to game plan and going in and seeing the wrinkles with Mark Whipple. And that's why Mark Whipple is one of the best offensive coordinators in the game, because he can watch film and see which matchups they can take advantage of each and every week. Those are the best offensive coordinators, right? And so that's why I can't wait to see what he comes up with against the #1 statistically defense in the nation.
Mickey did say today neither Bill or Mark went recruiting last week. They stayed here in game plan. So they broke down tape, they did things, and probably set mini game plans for maybe the next couple of games, because it'll be coming fast and furious as we move through. But the rest of the coaches were out and about and pretty active. A lot of offers went out the door in the last 7 or 8 days. So these guys are, as Mickey has said, he's recruiting as if he's going to be the coach moving forward.
And, you know, not just Mickey, but there's a lot of guys on the staff that, you know, when you talk about building those relationships and why recruits a lot of times choose places is what they're doing right now, right? And the relationships that they're building. And so it seems to be a lot of excitement with recruits too. And
got a commitment over the weekend.
Yeah, big one. And so, yeah, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of buy-in, not just with this football team with Mickey Joseph, and some of these other guys on the staff, but it's extending to the fans and to even recruits.
All right, good show tonight. Again, tomorrow night we'll have Amy Williams, so Jessica and I will not join you until hour 2. We'll only be here for a short time. Hand it off to JB and Lauren for that monster mash in Madison tomorrow night. #1, #5. First place Huskers have it right now. Even a loss tomorrow night by Nebraska, they would still be in first place in the conference standings. But I got a good feeling they're going to break that streak against the Badgers. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. That's going to do it for our horse show edition of Sports Nightly. Did you have a thought at all today we would get into this topic?
Not for a second.
Crazy stuff. 100. All right, that'll do it for tonight. Have a great night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software